So first, let's quickly look at Nifty. So as you know, Nifty right now is very close to its all-time high breakout. If you look at the all-time high breakout, it is here, 26,265. And we are actually right now very, very, very close to that particular zone. See, from here, we are basically 2% away from all-time high. That means everything is good. Only thing that is pending is that last overhang of the US tariffs that is there with India, which I think that also will get over very soon. So once that also gets over very soon, we are in a very good zone right now. So this is the last overhang, if you ask me, in my opinion. Now, apart from that, I also feel Nifty should come down a little bit because Nifty went up quite aggressively. So I think Nifty will come down at least to 25,500 or 25,600 before taking a pullback rally back to its all-time high. So I think this one pit stop, as you call it, should happen very soon. And once the pit stop happens, it should go up, right? So this last 1 month has been great, not a problem at all, as you can see. And if you see how much Nifty gave in the last 1 month, if you look at it from October 1st, right, Nifty is given approximately 4.13, little more than 4.13, 4.43% return. So that's actually not bad, right? That Nifty is actually given 4.43 returns, right? So that is a very, very, very good sign, and it is very all round. I would say it's a very good thing as well, right? And also, if you guys know, in the last 1 month, we launched our small case as well. And if you look at the small case website over here, you will also see that if I go click on discover and I find what is the most subscribed small case, we are still sitting at number 1 over a 1 month period. That means our launch was very successful. A lot of people have liked it. And if I go check the last 1 month returns, we have actually beat the benchmark index, both whether it's mid and small or whether it's large cap. Luckily, the basket is doing well. So thank God. And we are having a rebalance now. So for all the people who have invested, there is a big rebalance coming out. Mostly on Monday, you'll get the notification of few stocks going in and few stocks coming out as well. And I think there is a discount running on this as well right now. I think there's a 20% off discount going on. So you guys can check it out as well. But good. I mean, overall, I'm very happy with the performance. So I'm not too sad about it. And that is basically how Nifty is also doing right now. But Nifty is now basically in a small correction zone. So let's see what's going to happen. But overall, if you ask me, we are in a good zone. I hope you have finished accumulating all your mutual fund units over the last 14 months. Since the time we were here, it has been almost 14 months. So I hope you are happy right now that in this period of 395 days, I hope you have accumulated as much as you can, because right now we are now going to start the next new rally as well, right? So please be ready for that next new rally, and we are going to have some really good fun in this next few rally as well. Now, looking at the results have been great. No problem with the results as well. So a lot of results coming out. A lot of them have been good also. But let's quickly talk about what is the main agenda of today's session. And let's quickly talk about what's happening and why there is so much, I would say both sides of the coin are being spread out. Have you, by the way, I don't know how many of you all are there on Twitter, but have you guys seen this in the last few days? A lot of things are going on with respect to Lenskart. Have you heard about it? The IPO that was coming out, a lot of hate was going on, and then a lot of support came in from the other side. Have you been hearing this entire situation, right? In fact, even on Twitter, I posted a few, very funny, okay? Because on Twitter, I actually posted a very nice, so we made a report, right? I made a report internally. I shared the report to all our YouTube community members and our WhatsApp small case group members as well. And I shared everything with them, both positives and negatives, because my job as an investment banker and as a research analyst, my job is to look at both positives and negative, and I have to make a report. And then there is a summary on that report as to what I recommend. And my recommendation has been given in that entire document, which I'll show you also. Now, here's what happened, okay? Funny part. First, let me clear out the air, because so many annoying people were there on Twitter that day. But let me clear out the air. As a SEBI registered research analyst, I cannot take money from any listed company to do any kind of promotion. Whether it's good or bad, I cannot take money. If I was doing a promotion, then I will not show the positive and show the negative, because promotion usually happens either positive or negative. You cannot be unbiased in your whatever it is, right? So when I posted a very good unbiased review that, okay, the gross margin is good, EBITDA is good, but I still don't know why with such good numbers, why would you overvalue the company at 11 times? And investment bankers have factored in 4 years of growth into the stock. Some people found that this is a positive thing, right? That Shashank is saying that this is a good company. And I'm like, bro, look at the post, like read the second particle. But just, there was a lot of things that, okay, there are some people who don't like it. There are some people who like it. But let me exactly tell you what went wrong with this whole IPO, right? So let me go through this document that I made for you guys. And this is something I had shared with the entire group as well, both the YouTube community, WhatsApp group, Telegram, everywhere I had shared this, right? And I've clearly written avoid here. But basically what is happening is, see, the company's revenue has been growing. That is not a problem. I'll talk about both sides. Okay. I don't care about this because I'm not going to invest in this company at all. And I will definitely want to invest in it if it falls by 40-50% whenever in the future. Right now, I'm not going to invest because I'm not comfortable with the price to sales ratio being 11x for a specs manufacturer. Yes, he might have moat, he might have everything, but I saw a similar situation happening with DMart in the past, where DMart came out with a very high valuation, and then even after giving successful results, and DMart was PAT positive also, it became an issue, right? So basically the revenue has been growing, so that is not a problem. More stores they open, store level profitability is there, so they will keep growing. Their capacity utilization is at 40-45%, so they don't need to put any more capex for the near future. So the only capex that they will take, the money that they will pick up or whatever they will use, is only and only going to be to fuel growth into the store count metrics, right? But it is very important the store count also becomes profitable, and that also does well. The EBITDA margins have been growing from 7 to 14%. Yes, there was a one-time gain over here. If you look at the PAT one-time gain, so they are actually not PAT positive, they're PAT negative. With the one-time gain, the P is 200. Without that, it is 500. Even if I don't look at P, okay, and as an analyst, if I have to look at other things, which is your price to sales, EV, EBITDA, कुछ भी आप इधर से देखो, उधर से देखो, left से देखो, right से देखो, it is overvalued. There is no two if and buts about it. Nothing to defend on that. Overvalued है तो है, ठीक है, no problem at all, right? So that is what I said here, that the valuation of the completely negates the good of the industry. Most of the IPO is offered for sale, where promoters or investors are taking massive exit, and this is something that came out also in the DRHP, that when you see Piyush Bansal, he had taken a loan of 200 crores, bought shares of Lenskart before the IPO, and now he's selling that same shares which he bought 4 months ago for almost 7-8x of the valuation. So by the way, this is not wrong. For all the people who are abusing Lenskart, who are abusing this, let me ask you a simple question, right? Agar koi aadmi, if there is somebody, if I'm a greedy guy, or let's say I'm a guy who wants to take advantage of the system, I will come out with my company and list it at 40 times price to sales also. If you buy it, are you the idiot or am I the idiot for posting it at 40 times sales? Right? Bechne wala to bechega bhai. If a guy has to sell, he will sell. Right? If I go to a bank and say, give me a loan of 10 crores, will they give me? No. But if the bank gives me a loan of 10 crores and I don't have any net worth to show for that, who's the idiot? Bank or me? It is the bank's problem. So same thing over here, right? They are overvalued and they will tell whatever they want. It is up to the audience whether they want to buy or not. But I'll tell you where the irritation came in for the people. The irritation came in because if you look at this very carefully over here, this IPO, 75% was supposed to be for the institutional investors. Only 10% is retail portion. So this 10% was the people on Twitter abusing a lot, right? Now, people's sentiment was hurt because the mutual funds that they were doing SIP in every single month, they went and bought the IPO at this valuation. That is why the irritation came in more. Because if you are telling me that mutual funds sahi hai, which it is, mutual funds is good tool to increase your net worth over time, but the actual utilization of those funds are the most important. And when those funds go and bail out, investors, and who are they bailing out? Let me show you. They are bailing out these people, right? These are the guys who are getting exit, and that exit is coming from SIP money. Even though I don't want to invest, but I have invested in a mutual fund of HDFC, and they have invested indirectly into this fund and into this IPO. Now, another thing what is happening is this money that exit happens with these companies, it does not stay in India because this is a Cayman related fund. This is a Mauritius fund. All of these will go outside India. It is not something that retains in India. Now, I'm not angry because, they are coming and investing in our country, which is great. I'm not at all saying that it's a wrong thing. But don't take advantage of the fact that I can price the IPO at whatever it is and people will buy. But sadly, I think Shankar Sharma said this very nicely in his interview, that India is the dumbest IPO market ever. If you see yesterday, Lenskart IPO was totally subscribed. You get my point? The retail audience bought the entire IPO, which is whatever the small 10%, which is only 700 crores. Okay. They bought the entire whatever the last 10% was there, purely because they thought ki listing gains ho jayega, 20%, 25% listing gains will happen. And that is why they have bought. Now, some people who are smart play the listing games very well. Some people who are not smart get stuck with the IPO, and then 30-40% downturn will happen in your IPO. How many of you will have noticed this? Maybe you've done this in the past, but most of the IPOs that actually come usually don't end up going about the price, and then they start selling below the price for a very long period of time, and you'll have to wait a long time for you to get any kind of return. And this is something we saw exactly happening with companies like Paytm. All of these companies who came out with, badi baate, vada pav khate type, they came and nothing happened, right? So this is basically the problem. So price the IPO right, nobody would have had a problem. Price it thoda zyada, and obviously the audience will get irritated. Everybody got irritated, and that irritation was coming out. I don't think anyone has any problem with Lenskart as a company. It was just the valuation that people got really pissed off. And as I said, if they had come with 4 times price to sales, people would have in fact oversubscribed it like crazy, and they would have anyway got their exit. But thoda lalach sabka hai, sabka lalach chalta rehta hai. That is basically what happened to the entire company. But if you ask me, I would like to buy the company at 50% discount. If it comes down 40-50%, then I would say, okay, now it is a nice time because the sales will continue growing. So ye to acha hi hai, and then eventually the company will catch up. But again, I would say there are better opportunities than this, honestly, at this point. And I would not be very happy about this right now, right? Because there are definitely much better IPOs, or much more better companies, profitable, sustainable, that have come out, that have done really well. And if you want to look at IPOs like a dashboard, SME and main board, you will see that out of the 2025, in the year 2025, total number of stocks listed in profit 219, total number of stocks listed in loss 84, and average listing gain was 10.7. This is what people are playing. This is exactly what people are playing right now, right? They don't care about anything else. They just want to play IPO listing gains, and they're very happy with this gains. How many of you all play this game as well? I mean, there's nothing wrong in playing this game. If you are smart enough, you can get 10% in 7 to 10 days. You are very smart, honestly. You're a very smart guy if you can play this. But if you get stuck in the average loss, then you are in a big problem, right? And if you look at the till date analysis, number of stocks that are in profit are 170 and number of losses 132. That means very few companies, actually your risk reward ratio is almost 50%. There's a 50% chance of listing gain, and there's a 50% chance of losing it as well. And so many companies have come. Look at this. Now, there are some really good companies, like Tata Capital is a good company, LG Electronics. Look at this. All good companies will automatically give you very good listing gains, right? Rubicon Research, very good company, one of the fastest growing research companies in the space, right? Midwest, I've not checked, but Anand Rathi is another very good company. The DSM Fresh, I don't know. So there are good companies coming out. It's not like the companies are not good, right? If you look at this, HDB is okay. Anthem Biosciences, very interesting company. Ather, even normal Ather is very good. Your biking Ather is also very good. Urban Company, 57%. So there are good companies, there are bad companies, but again, it all depends on how you want to play the game, right? So Prasanna has a very good question here. I don't agree. The same guys are lecturing people on Shark Tank. How come a valuation of company has gone 8 times in the last 3 months? Prasanna, this is exactly what I'm saying. So if he lectures people in Shark Tank, it is him individually sitting in that Shark Tank and lecturing people. But when you are running a company and you have less than 50% of the company, obviously you are not running the company. So the other shareholders, which I showed you over here, all these people, these are the guys running the company, and they will say, "Tum chupchap beto, I will tell you what to price the company at." And then you have investment bankers also who will say, "Sir, aap kar do na 10 times price to sales, sab bik jayega, aap tension mat lo." And that is what is happening. It is not investment bankers' fault. It is not their fault, because agar tum kharid rahe ho to un log bechenge na, right? If somebody sells pani puri for 100 rupees, it is up to you whether you want to take that 100 rupees or not. Correct? So again, Angelo, it is not a fraud company. Please understand, all of you guys are getting it wrong. It is not a fraud company. The company is good. If it had listed at 30p, would you still belt the company? If it listed at 30p, would you still shout at the company? Answer is no. So it has nothing to do with the company. The uproar was just that you are trying to chipkawfy mal to us, and it got chipkawified. It got it got subscribed. So they will take their money and go out of India, and they're very happy. Then nobody cares about you, right? And that is why you start seeing some companies, some mutual funds that are respected in the industry, right? I put a post recently about it. It really did well. But it was such a random post and I put this at 12 a.m. in the night, right? I was just randomly, I came back from cricket and I was watching the anchor book coming out, and I just said my respect for PPFAS and all went more. Not because they apply in IPOs, it's just because there are some funds that stick to their usul, right? They have a system and they stick to the system. And I think SYC also posted a very nice post about all the funds that did not invest in this. But here, the who's who of funds have invested. Your HDFC, large mid, prudential, multi-cap, every single innovation fund, this fund, that fund, everything has gone into it. BlackRock, T Rowe, who's who, everybody's there. अब नाम लो, 5-6 लोग छोड़ के सब लोग है. Now, what are they also playing listing gains? Because they can't play listing gains. They have to wait. They cannot exit on day one. And when they exit, you will be in a big problem. So that is why I said be very careful about it. There are other companies also that have come out with IPOs. Why don't you look at those companies? That is also interesting. You can look at Studds. Okay. See now Studds again, this is the company that's coming out with 33 P ratio post issue. Normal. I have a different take on this, but overall, if you look at it, it's neutral. I would not say subscribe. I would not say not subscribe, but it at least is not an avoid. It is operating fair. It is a profitable company. It has 28, 33, 57 profit company. EBITDA margin is 16%, right? They're a very good distribution based company, but only problem with this company is a helmet company. Right? There's no uniqueness about it apart from the distribution game. What is happening right now? Your companies like Ather, Royal Enfield, Ola are all planning to come into accessories. If you saw, Ola recently launched their own accessory store. Ather launched their own helmet, right? Hero obviously has their own branded stuff. Bullet has their own branded stuff, Royal Enfield. So eventually, I think, people who ride bikes know this. You don't change your things very often, right? There's another company that is also coming out with IPO. That is also very interesting. Have you heard of the company called Orkla? So Orkla also, I think I'd given it to the members of WhatsApp and small case members and all of that. This also is very interesting company. Let me just show you. Only problem in this company, the sales growth has kind of decreased, but they are, we'll have to wait and watch. Again, it is not a buy or sell. That is why I'm saying it's neutral. It is again a wait and watch. But if you look at Orkla is basically MTR. I don't know how many of you all are South Indians over here, but most of the South Indians know that MTR is love, right? Whenever you go abroad, you definitely want to have MTR. Those ready to eat MTR, we all take and go, correct? So that is what this is. And they are also listing at 39p. That is why you don't see anyone shouting at them. The only problem here is that their revenue has kind of stagnated in the last 2 years when there is no reason for it to stagnate. And even the profitability is like not doing really well, right? So that is why this company also did not get, and their growth rate is also very slow. So the premium is not coming into this ecosystem right now. So that is basically how this is going out right now, right? So coming to a question here, is Lenskart a fundamentally strong company? It is not weak. Peaky Blinders, that's what I'm saying. It is not a bad company, but people have factored 4 years into the future right now. That is my problem. 4 years into the future, you're valuing the company. Even if he grows the company very well for the next 3-4 years, it will come to fair value after that. It is not going to be better. It will actually be at fair value after that. And this is my biggest problem with the company, right? But apart from that, if you want to see companies that are doing well right now, have you watched, with better risk reward ratio, as I keep telling you guys, right? What is better in the market? Have you guys seen what is happening with the public sector banks? Okay. For example, take South Indian Bank. Look at this. This is momentum. Okay. To take your Indian Bank. Look at this company. In very good move. Look at this. These are banks. Okay, leave this. You might say these are risky. State Bank of India. Look at the momentum on this. By the way, State Bank of India just now recently broke their all-time high with a reverse head and shoulder. Right? All-time high breakout. Can you see this? So my point is there are such beautiful companies right now in the market, right? Companies that are doing very well. We should look at that. Yeah, PNB, even though PNB is such a bad company, you see it is also going up and rallying. Right? What about, I'll show you more banks. RBL Bank, which is the Emirates news came out. Look at that. Blasting. This was in our quant small case as well. Look at this. Blasting. It is in stage leg 3 now. It has already gone up, consolidated. Now it's in leg 2. It will again consolidate a bit and then again go up again. Banks, left, right, center, they're doing well. Federal Bank, yes. Federal Bank also. Yeah, see? Federal Bank also. These are 10 EMA riding, man. These are banks. So banks have started doing really well. This is an all-time high breakout again on bank. Okay, this is all-time high breakout for Federal Bank. So very good risk-reward ratios coming out. And this is just started. It is not over yet. It has just started. This entire journey has just started right now. And that is where the beauty of this entire game is coming. Now coming to the next sector that is slowly creeping up and picking up. Have you heard of defense sector? Suddenly now orders have started flowing in. I recently saw a company called MTAR. They got 264 crore order just one day ago, right? Apart from that, they if you look at Astra Microwave, they also got a 286 crore defense order. Suddenly defense orders have started flowing into the system, right? And that means money will start flowing into the system. Their order books will become better. Not just these two. Have you heard of Zentech? They also got a order. I think just yesterday they got an order, right? Yeah, another 289 crores. I don't know why everything is around 280. Kya ajeeb number hai ye? But three companies back to back have got orders in the last 3 days. 280, 280, 280. So very good, right? Very, 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 very good. So that is something. Now, very good question by Nitix Gaming. What about what Robert Kiyosaki told today? Robert Kiyosaki has been telling this from the last 4 years that the market is going to crash. Even Michael Burry has come and said that the market is supposed to crash, but it is not crashing. Please understand that this time it is slightly different, because every time the market is supposed to crash, and please, by all means, I agree that it should crash, especially the US market. Indian market is fine. US market is just bonkers right now. Every time it's supposed to crash, they are using policies to avoid a 2008 type of crisis, and they're coming in and stepping in and easing the interest rates. They are putting in more money. They're buying their own debt. They're printing $1 trillion more, and they're ensuring that it does not fall as well, right? So yes, defense is something that we are looking at very closely internally as well. That it looks very interesting again right now. And once the order flow starts coming in, I think defense will start picking up as well. Apart from that, some very good companies have come out with their results. I don't know if you guys have seen the result tracker recently. But some very good companies are coming out with the result as well. For example, Gravita came out with good result. Jain Resource came out with good result. So recycling industry as a whole is also doing very well, right? So these are some things that I'm obviously personally keeping a lot of track on, but I would strongly suggest you guys also look at it. And again, one more thing I want to tell you guys, that please be very careful when it comes to IPOs. Yes, playing listing games is absolutely fine. No problem. Khelo jitna khelna hai. Sabka risk appetite is very different, but please do not take a big loss on it, right? Again, it is not worth it, because there are companies coming with such great results, such fundamentally strong companies. You don't need to do this. You don't need to play the small games. Play a bigger game, right? Like power sector, we saw TD Power coming out with great result, went up by 20% in 2 days. So there are some fundamentally strong players coming into the system, right? Find those players, find those companies that are doing well, and then invest in those companies as well. Okay, cool. Let me do one thing. Let me quickly take 2 questions from the audience, and then we will cut the stream. Yeah, let's quickly take 2 questions from the audience. Yeah, Grow IPO is coming as well. I'll make a quick unbiased review on that because we're a part of Grow Network. So I'll make a review without any recommendation so that people understand that there is no recommendation on this. So I'll be unbiased about it. But I have seen it. It looks good from a long-term standpoint. Because if you look at what happened recently with Motilal Oswal, if you go to Motilal Oswal and Angel One's result, and if you hear what Zerodha said, they all said that their broking revenue fell by 50%, right? Because the average daily turnover fell down and people have stopped using it and blah, blah, blah. So Motilal also had the brokerage revenue falling down. Angel One also had it falling down. Zerodha also has it falling down. So Grow might have a one-time blip right now. But over a long period of time, the MTF lending book, the other HNI space that they're playing on, those will start catching up as well, right? So both are good companies. From a long-term standpoint, is definitely not bad because they're sitting at 67, 68% margin. And good founders are also there, right? So that is a good advantage there. Okay, let's take one more question. So NBFCs are doing well. I think SBFC also came out with a very good result. In fact, I don't know how many of you all saw it. We had spoken about 3 companies for our Diwali pick. By the way, I don't hold any of these companies, so because of compliance issues. But one of the company was ABDL that we spoke about during Mora trading, is doing really well. Second company, SBFC Finance, just came out with the result, superb result that came out. Third company was SJS, again in momentum, again doing really well, again breaking all-time high breakout. So very, very, very good companies are there. Yes, Varun Beverages is also good. Varun Beverages recently came out with the news that they're entering the alcohol space. So now some movement should happen. But see, people don't want news. People want results. People want answers. Okay. So that is basically what they want, right? So that is something that we need to see. So let's see about that. Good question somebody was asking. Zerodha versus Grow, but Grow has more user base but less profit. Yes, because of the product mix that you have. So if you look at the product mix between Grow and Zerodha, Zerodha has a product mix which has more F&O audience. Grow has a more SIP based equity audience, whereas Zerodha has more F&O audience. That is why the base is different, because F&O audience will trade more and more and more. So that is where the difference is. Both are great companies, they just have different bases. Swiggy, little controversial because Swiggy ka abhi kya ho raha hai? If you look at their result that came out, that was not great. And if you look at another problem that Swiggy is looking at right now, they're saying we don't have money to grow and we need to grow faster to stay up with the competition, right? And that is why you see that Swiggy is on a very bad downtrend right now, falling almost 10% from its peak, mainly because they're saying we need to raise more and more money to fight Zepto and this one, right? So that is a big problem. Aether Energy, I don't want to talk about it. Compliance issues are there. What else? This is doing well. No, Anantraj is doing well. Data center space is doing well. Motilal took a hit, sadly, again, mainly because their brokerage income fell down and their treasury income, they had again another 250 crore loss. But they're playing a very different game. I'm very interested in Motilal to pick up more and more, but not right now. I'm going to wait because Motilal has one very interesting thing that I like. Okay, let me show you that. What people don't realize is Motilal is trying to play a different game. Motilal is trying to play a game like Berkshire Hathaway, which becomes a holding company type of a game. Now, Berkshire Hathaway's primary business is an insurance business. Okay, they made free cash flow from insurance. Think about LIC. LIC has free cash flow. They invest in markets, and that is why LIC also has a lot of investments. So Berkshire Hathaway has a similar game. Motilal Oswal is trying to do the same thing. What Motilal Oswal is saying is now we have so much money that we are also making from our cash management business or whatever the wealth management business. They make good margins and they take that money and they put it in their treasury to build their base. Now, if that is what they're showing in this slide over here, treasury and operating business. So operating business is asset light, diversified revenue, and each business is managed. Whenever the profit comes, they take the operating profit and post dividend payout, they invest in the treasury business, right? Treasury business is nothing but they buy their own share. They buy shares of companies and that grows over a long period of time. Now, if I go down, ignore all this business, and I just look at that treasury business over here, last mein aata hai wo. Let me show you that. Wealth management, capital markets, home finance weirdly picked up. Yeah, treasury investments. So if you look at the treasury investments, they have made 18% XIRR since 2014, which is very, very, very good over a long period of time, right? Now, their entire market cap is around 50,000 crores and the treasury investments today, I think, is worth 10,500 crores. Now, this will start compounding very fast. From 10,000 becomes 20,000, 40,000, 80,000, 1,20,000. And this has nothing to do with the core business. The core business will not grow as fast as the compounding that will happen on this. That's why Ramdev Agarwal sir keeps talking about compounding, right? Every 4 years, assume you compound, or every 5 years you compound. In 20 years, this 10,500 can become 20, 20 will become 40, 40 will become 80, 80 might become 1,60,000. Just on 4 compounding cycles, which is 5 years each compounding cycle. That in the next 20 years, if I'm 30 right now and I want to be 50, just this book itself can become 1,50,000 crores, right? Remaining the others, how their business grows is secondary, right? So if you look at this, basically they have treasury investments here and invested in MOFL manufactured products. Promoters have put in 3,400 crores. Other sponsors have put in 7,000 crores. So totally they have 10,500 crores. And this is the treasury investment they have, right? Net worth in the treasury investment, capital allocated across operating businesses. So this is something that is going to be very interesting to look at how this plays out over a long period of time. Right now, it's too early to say what is going to play out and what might not play out. But over a long period of time, we will be interested to see what plays out and what not. Yeah. Okay. So let's take one last question. Zaggle is doing well, but they're only growing with respect to acquisitions. So they're doing something known as acquisition-led growth. Very common in a lot of IT companies. IT companies also do acquisition-led growth, and that is exactly what is happening. They keep buying companies, and because they keep buying companies, it starts doing well, right? Utkarsh. By the way, guys, take 10 seconds pause. Please click on that like button. I know you guys are watching. We're also here. 10 seconds. Click on that like button, and we will continue. Okay, so cables as a whole industry has done really well. If you look at Apar Industries, Polycab Industries, KEI Industries, they have all done very well in the past and their results have also been very amazing. And if you look at everybody, all these three, dynamic cable, so many companies are there. Everyone is doing well, right? So cables as a whole is doing really well, and I think it will continue to do well. There is no reason why cable should not do well going forward. Okay, so that is a very big thing. What else? So let's take one last question. Good question, man, Utkarsh. Okay, let's take one final question before we call it up. Shriram Finance. Okay, Shriram Finance is a very, very, very interesting. Okay, let me show you. So Shriram Finance is very good. Again, all-time high breakout. All finance companies or all NBFCs in the what do you call that, vehicle space will do well, right? Shriram is doing well. Sundaram is doing well. All of them will do well. They just broke out. What a rally is going on. So yes, Rishabh Gupta, this is doing really well. So don't worry about it. Nice question. What is that 1% F&O trader know that retail investors don't know? Okay, because I do a lot of F&O, I'll tell you something very straightforward, Rohit. F&O investors, most of the successful traders in this world, whether it's F&O, whether it's equity, whether it's IPO based, whether it's MTF, whatever it is, most of the successful investors in the world, they do not gamble. I don't know how, I don't know, maybe you'll understand it or not, but they do not gamble. They have a system and they hate deviating from their own system. They hate it, right? Even if it goes against every soul of their body, the guy who follows his system, whether it's profit booking system, whether it's take profit system or stop loss system, they know how to do capital management, capital allocation, risk management, profit management. That is where traders win. Finding trades is not the difficult job. Finding trades is the easiest job for a very good 1% trader. Okay, the difficult job is when to book profits, how to book profits, how to take maximum from a trade, how to exit and leave something on the table, because you will always leave something on the table, right? And if you want to really learn, there is a YouTube channel called Trader Lion. Go see some videos of Qual Maggie, Dan Zanger. Oof, you just see how they do it. It's just like, even when I watch it, I'm like, bro, how the hell is he doing it? Even if I want to put in practice, it's not. And they are so systematic to the game, right? They will not get greedy, and if they want to take a loss, they will take loss. They will trade at 50% accuracy, but they will still beat the entire market, like hands down, pants down kind of a thing. So the successful 1% F&O trader is not gambling. He's playing a system. He's only playing risk reward ratio, and he's playing number of wins and loss ratio. In fact, he does not care about the trade at all. He's only playing how much to book, how much to take, how much to book, how much to take. And that is all. Awesome. Perfect, guys. So that is it for today's quick session. So again, if you're not following me on Twitter, please go follow me on Twitter. You can go check out Small Cases. By the way, we are doing a very nice meetup in Bangalore for some people. It was a very closed 200 people invite. I think it got sold out in 6.5 minutes. We're doing a very big meetup, completely free of cost, no charge to those 200 people. But we will be doing more sessions, more meetups as well. Those will be paid. This one is a completely non-paid event. So 200 people are coming in. So we're going to do that next week in Bangalore. So I'm very excited to see all of you guys. For all the people who have the small cases, you will get a rebalance update on Monday. So please go through that rebalance update and do it accordingly for Fluid Q, not for Fluid C. And if you are a part of the small case and if you're not added into the WhatsApp group, just send me an email or put a comment in the YouTube section below. I'll tell you where to send an email and I will add you to that WhatsApp group, because we keep posting almost 3 to 4 updates every single day on that WhatsApp group, right? So it is, and it is all filtered news. It is not crap. So you will get all of that very soon. Again, just a quick update. A lot of things are going on. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the last 1 month, we are doing a lot of things. The team is currently working on an entire podcast a webinar for the recycling industry. So we are doing a very big recycling industry breakdown. Each and every company, global macros, global companies, macroeconomic study, everything is coming up for that. Ish Mohit's podcast was supposed to come out actually today. I think it'll come out tomorrow because it's completely ready from my side. Let me ask my team why it's not out today. It should have come out today, but I think tomorrow it'll come out. Beautiful podcast, 1 hour. I think you should not skip even a single minute of it. You can watch it in 1.25x, but we cover so many things in that podcast, right? We cover his picking strategies, we cover his wins, we cover his losses, we cover his defense companies, we cover his power structures. Oh my God. And he keeps giving crazy knowledge. And then he started talking about US market, US companies, how to find momentum company. Oh, it is just like I was only sitting as a fanboy and enjoying that entire moment. So I think you should also watch it. I think today or tomorrow that video will come out so that your weekend at least is sorted. Okay. Awesome, guys. Take care. I'm going to see you guys soon. Bye bye. And click on that subscribe button if you're watching this for the first time and you found some value, because I do this every single week and you can learn as much as you can. Thank you. Take care. See you. Bye bye.